When we're doing content strategy, the first type of content we're creating is service page content and location page content. And then after that, what we're trying to do is we're trying to boost the topical authority of those pages by creating blog content. So blog content really, like if any SEO agency who only offers blog content is gonna die within the next 2 years, in my opinion, because one, AI overviews is just gonna eat up all those searches. But two, none of those blogs actually convert really like at all, right? You might get 1 or 2 conversions a year, maybe more if you're lucky, but on average, it's around that. That said, what you can do is you can use it to kind of boost your thought leadership around a service. So like for dentists, right? One thing is you should create some local content. What we usually do, maybe we'll start with some big, buyer and lower in the funnel keywords. So like if someone's searching like dentures versus I don't know, one other service, right? Or braces versus Invisalign. Those are things we might target because you might get lucky, right? Someone searching that is typically looking to get that service. And if you work in a pretty big market, there's a good chance, let's say you're working the Dallas-Fort Worth market, there might be a decent chance that one of those people tends to be in that area, right? But that's kind of a crapshoot. You're just doing that, kind of shooting in the dark. That said, you can target local content. What we usually try to do is we use Claude or ChatGPT to formulate a list of local content ideas, and then we cross-check that by actually searching it in Google, taking the top result and seeing if there's actually any organic keyword rankings. Because sometimes you'll find some good stuff, like we work with some restaurants, and there's a lot of people searching like best like plant-based restaurant in Florida, right? Something like that, something random. Then depending on how aggressive your client wants to get, one strategy in e-com is you try to hijack some of your competitors' branded search, right? And so what you can do is you can do like, what's it called? You can do review pages, right? So like, let's say you have a competitor in Dallas, and what you can do is you can create a page called like competitor reviews, right? And then it's just a super unbiased blog talking about all the reviews. You can usually scrape these from Google or whatever, and kind of just say like, here's what each customer has to say, and then you'll present yourself as an alternative at the end. But it has to be super unbiased, because what can usually happen is like you can have like a competitor come after you, because if you write it in the wrong way, obviously, first of all, you're writing something about your competitor, but two, if you write something incorrect, they could come after you. So you have to be very unbiased, and usually like we get approval from the client before we even write any of that type of stuff. So to kind of summarize what you're saying, we do it, but we focus on service pages first and location pages first. Then the blog content we're creating is usually stuff where we know the person who clicks on that blog is already deep within the buyer funnel. So usually a lot of comparison content, a lot of best of content. And then from there, we'll use Claude to kind of source some local content ideas, and then we'll see if there's any kind of legs to them by searching them on Google and then checking in Ahrefs if there's any organic keyword rankings. And then if the client approves, we'll create competitor content in order to try to steal some of their branded traffic.